So we really see an amazing trend in the industry. I will say that there are two important trends that actually influence the global environment. One of them is the fact that people would like to see more personalized items. So what we see is actually the industry going into more short runs, on demand. Series are getting really a tiny quantity, and the online business are also influence this environment. And this creates a lot of change in our industry, in the packaging industry, in global, both in the folding carton and also in the corrugated. In addition to that, what we see suddenly that the digital printing equipment starting to move from what we call the commercial printing market and then go into folding carton and also into corrugated. So we see more digital printing equipment going into this market, and obviously this also creates a change, because when I have a digital printing equipment, that the value of this equipment is about short runs, on demand and fast responsiveness, then I need to have a very good equipment in my finishing science. And this is today the missing puzzle of the industry. The printing industry in general is a conservative industry, and certainly the packaging. The packaging industry, they have their own, I would say, standard, because they work with the main brand, cosmetics brand and other brand, and they are demanding their quality. So for them to move from one, I would say, from one production environment into another production environment, requiring a lot of test and qualification process, which obviously slow the penetration of new equipment and new technology into this market. So you are absolutely right with your observation.
So the product portfolio of Highcon nominated 4 different products. We start with the Highcon Euclid. We introduced it during Drupa 2012, and this machine represents our technology ability to digitally cut and crease, and it's targeting the packaging market and commercial market. The Euclid 3 is a B1 format and targeting the packaging and the commercial market. So our first product was targeting the packaging market for a carton board. The substrate range starts from 200 micron up to 600 micron for the carton board, and it's also targeting the microflute substrate up to 1.2 millimeter. It's made N and F and G flute. 2 years ago, during Drupa 2016, we introduced our new product, the Highcon Beam. It's much faster machine. It's in average 3 times faster compared to the Euclid, and it's targeting mainstream production, again for the folding carton market. And lately, two months ago, we just introduced new machine based on our existing technology, recognized technology, targeting the corrugate market. The Euclid 3C is enabled to proceed substrate starting at 1 millimeter up to 3 millimeter, only for corrugate. And we see more and more increased demand for short-run, customized products, both for packaging, for point of sales, for display, and for short runs with a customized approach. Our technology based basically on 2 parts. One is the laser cutting, second is the digital creasing. So in the laser cut, there are few competitors around, and we learn our competitive products, technology, and we believe that with our ability and technology, we can perform much better quality with regard to laser cutting. Plus, laser cutter doesn't have the ability for a real crease. They can do half cut, but it's not acceptable as an industry standard for packaging and for crease. We bring the ability to create real crease, mechanical crease, with a unique technology. And you know, the best way to test quality of crease is the process downstream. It means that if the product that came out from our digital die cutting and creasing machine can run on a folding gluing and then on a filling machine, it means that you have great crease quality, same as conventional. And that's exactly what we have done.
The fact that we see more and more digital printing equipment going into the market will force the packaging manufacturer to use a digital finishing equipment, because otherwise you lose actually all the value of your digital printing equipment. So I think it's very true to say that what we see at the moment are actually we are in the beginning, I would say, of a revolution in the packaging industry, because we will see, and still it's a tiny, in terms of the global production quantity, it's still not a very big amount, but every packaging manufacturer that is thinking about his next press, is the next press that he's going to buy, he's not thinking about analog, he's thinking digital. He's checking HP, he's checking EFI, he's checking Durst, he's checking Barbarian, and all the others that we are familiar with. And this will create a change in the market. People understand very easily the comparison between digital printing and analog printing. And usually, when you have a short runs, when you need to produce something on demand, when you want to change batches very fast, when you want to improve your supply chain, you have warehouses of tools, or I can just move directly from the file to production. So there are a lot of value which are not really related only to the setup. And think about us, we are using today our iPhone and our smart devices, and we don't even think to go back into the other phone, because hey, everything is here. How we can do it? So we are bringing extra value to the market, which are not only the cost saving. Yes, of course, there is the cost saving when you do the short runs, but also there are values related to premium product, related to your ability to improve your supply chains, and this kind of thing. So it's much more than only cost saving.
With our ability, we give new horizon to the design fantasy. You can design almost whatever you would like. Still, you need to produce the bread and butter. You need to produce, if it's packaging, so you need to produce boxes, you need to produce a display. There are some very simple jobs. So our technology is not just about special design, it's also about enable smooth production for very short run, because you have the ability for a very fast turnover. So if you have short run, even for very regular boxes, you can in a matter of minutes to change to new job and produce less than 100 boxes, quick change, and you move to the other job. So it's not just about special design and special products. It's also about productivity and the ability to gain new jobs that with the traditional way of production you cannot do it, because the setup is long. You need to wait to get your die cut plate, and then to load the machine and start run for a very long run.
Absolutely, you are absolutely right. And when people are talking to me, I say, hey, we are not here to replace, maybe not now, maybe in the future, the analog finishing equipment. But exactly as in printing, when you go to a printing shop, whether it's in the States or in Europe, what you will see an analog device of Heidelberg or KBA or Komori sitting next to a digital device of HP or Xerox. And what the customer will do, he will manage his production flow in a more efficient way. So when I can take my short run on-demand batches and move them into the digital finishing equipment, what actually I do? I do two things. First of all, I will save my cost because I can do it much faster in a more easy way, but also I will have more capacity on my analog device. So it's actually helping me to manage my production flow in much more efficient way. And this is an extra value. So I can utilize my analog device in a better way. So, and I will go back to the question you asked me before about, whether this industry is a conservative. So yes, the industry is conservative, but I believe that the change is here and people are more open to adapt the change. It will take time, but not a long time. and we'll see more and more digital equipment going into the production facility. We have today in Highcon more than 60 customers working with our equipment all over the world: China, Japan, Asia, Europe, America, Latin America, North America, producing with our equipment on a daily basis product to leading brand owner, and they're accepting the quality. So I think that it's here. Still, they are checking, they would like to make sure, which is okay, this is fine, this is the way the industry is behaved, but the change is here. And when people think, okay, whether I will buy a digital finishing equipment first or digital printing equipment first, or sometimes they are not sure, but what we will see for sure as a revolution in the industry is that yes, there is no sense to invest a huge amount of money in a digital printing equipment and then rely on a totally analog solution. Okay, so for some batches maybe it makes sense, but the market is changing. The brand owners are demanding a change. The customers are demanding a change. They want to have, personalized product. They would like to order things through the internet. We see Amazon going into the market. DHL, you would like to reduce your shipping cost and have exactly the size of the box that you want. You want to have an unpacking experience. We have a long tail in the production flow today. So there are a lot of things that are happening in our ecosystem that are influence the converter, and they will create the change. That's fair to say. We in Eitan, we actually introduced our first product in 2012 in Drupa. We start to install it about a year after at a beta site in Europe and in the United States. And today, as I said, we have more than 60 installations. I think that we are leading the industry. We're investing a lot in research and development, making sure that the quality of the product, as you said before, will match what the customer are looking for, both in terms of creasing quality, cutting quality, folding force, making sure that the customer will be happy with the service that we are providing them. And I'm happy to say that when I see now new company coming and actually delivering similar message to what we said, yes, hey, you are welcome. I think it will help us
support the industry.
Exactly, to support the revolution in the industry.